In today's video, we're going to be diving into the upcoming pattern, taking a look at some very turbulent weather patterns happening over the next 2 weeks. Lots of storminess, especially the further east you are. Along the eastern seaboard looks to see a massive uptick in the storminess, but a lot of the central and overall inland eastern states do appear to be in a more active pattern as well. Humidity, temperatures are going to be on the rise, and as you guys know, that creates more and more thunderstorms. So just overall, very active, very warm, very humid coming up very soon. I'm excited to announce that I just released a brand new vlog. Right as you're watching this video, it is available on my Ashton Blue channel. You can check it out on the top right corner of your screen, the pinned comment and description down below. We went to Florida. We went boating. We went to a Disney resort. We went all sorts of places. We went to Disney Springs. It was awesome. And we saw and actually encountered a very intense thunderstorm that hit us while we were boating, and we had to get out of there really quickly. Okay, we might get hit actually. Rachel, what's going on?
I don't know.
Oh, get us out of here! Check it out today. Subscribe to that channel, like I said, like the video and comment down below that video because it helps me out so much as I'm just beginning to grow that channel. It helps it get suggested to more people, which is very hard to do when you're first starting out. So that would mean the world to me if you guys would just go do those 3 things over on that channel. Now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive into things, and we are taking a look at that dew point map where we can clearly tell where the humidity and the dryness is. So I shouldn't have to break that down for you, but a lot of this green stuff, especially as we get into the deeper greens, is going to be highly sufficient for thunderstorms and severe weather. So that is the areas to watch here with the highest potential. And this is as we're working our way through this afternoon. And I mean, even today, we can see a lot of this surging towards the north and towards the east. So this starts now. This gradual increase, obviously, as the low temperatures hit, we see a little bit of a drop off, but looking at Thursday, tomorrow, more and more humid, even Friday. The only other thing to think about here is we do have this area of cooler, drier weather, and that is kind of trying to combat the humid, warm conditions. So we see a little bit of a battle zone set up. And as you guys know, if you pay attention to the channel, these areas where the battle is happening between the 2 different types of air masses, that is where we can see a lot of that turbulent, really nasty weather set up. And then we see this dry air went out, especially Saturday into Sunday here, so 10th, 11th. But we do see that humidity make a really quick rebound here as we head into early next week, Monday the 12th, Tuesday the 13th here into Wednesday the 13th, or Wednesday the 14th, better yet. And this one is even more explosive, expansive, and intense than the one before it. We see high humidity reaching into areas of Canada, areas of the Northeast, areas of the Great Lakes, Upper Midwest, Northern Plains, all of these areas dealing with really high humidity. So it is surging in from the Gulf. The West is just really bone dry. Moving further on, we do see another cold front come through around that Friday, Saturday timeframe. That's the 16th, 17th here. And that does reach towards the eastern seaboard. That humidity is more exclusive for the deep south there, as you can see. And then it does start to try to increase here towards the end of the model run. But you can tell there is a little bit of an up and down to it. It's not as simple as just, hey, it's late May, it's going to be humid. There is up and downs here, and that is going to be critical to knowing what the conditions could be like outside of that, especially storminess. So as we take a look at that storminess, I want to work our way through this. This is this afternoon, and we have thunderstorms abundant throughout the southern states, south central, southeast, also areas of the northeast, and maybe very far northern mid-Atlantic dealing with some showers or thunderstorms there. As we keep going, this pocket of storminess Thursday is on the move eastward and northward. We see the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, Southeast, Deep South, even parts of like the Midwest dealing with these thunderstorms here. So again, the further east you are, the more storminess you're dealing with as a whole when we look back at all of this on the total precipitation in a minute. Moving forward, Friday is the same thing, more exclusive for the eastern seaboard. Thunderstorms are around. And what's interesting is by Saturday morning, we do have a low near New England, and this becomes a little bit of a weak nor'easter. This pocket of thunderstorms really develops into something a little bit more up there. So some wind, more steady, heavy rainfall possible up there. You guys up in New England know how to deal with a nor'easter. What am I telling you for? Looking towards later on Saturday, that system does eventually move out sometime between Saturday and Sunday. Again, 10th, 11th. There is thunderstorms in the deep southeast, but it is much quieter to end the week. And really to start the new one, Sunday the 11th here, there is some storminess out west, but it is pretty minimal. Looking towards Monday on the 12th, it's pretty clear that this little pocket of thunderstorms in the deep south is on the move northeastward, and this is going to become a lot more expansive. Definitely some thunderstorms in there, maybe even severe weather. By Tuesday, we see Carolinas, Virginia, Maryland, D.C., Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, so it's expanding northward. And by Wednesday, we see this all the way up in the Great Lakes and Northeast. But actually, the bigger story by this Wednesday, the 14th timeframe, is going to be this 990 millibar low pressure center between Nebraska and South Dakota that really develops in a hurry. This does lead to some Rocky Mountain snowfall, as you can see, some heavy rainfall to the north and west of that low. And we're going to be watching the underneath and eastern area because this would be the severe weather quadrant of that storm. So let's see as we just progress a couple of hours. And what we see happen pretty immediately is a 984 here in South Dakota. A little bit of a frontal boundary here. It looks like the warm front is up above here. The cold front is actually swinging northward, which we do see this happen sometimes. And that would create, I would say, a severe weather risk for this northern plains, upper Midwest area. Some point 14th, 15th. This is quite a bit out. It's about a week out. So time will tell. This could change quite a bit. But typically when we're looking at about a week out and the models are calling for a major low, we will in fact see something similar to that. So probably a major low. The location could be off a little bit. The overall frontal boundaries could be placed a little differently, but there is something coming 14th, 15th that we'll be watching. About 90% confident in that. Moving towards Thursday, we see this same dynamic continue. This cold front is kind of extended out. So we're dealing with the Great Lakes, some of the Ohio Valley, probably most of the thunderstorm activity by this point, and a very strong low there in the north central states, 986, heavy rainfall, even snowfall for some of these mountainous areas. As we move towards Friday, things get very interesting. This low weakens significantly in a hurry. We get this area of thunderstorms really popping off once we see this low weaken, and it's going to be a little bit more expansive for the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, deep south once more. Looking towards Saturday here on the 17th, mostly the eastern seaboard dealing with a lot of this as there's a stretching cold front here for all of these areas. The low is up here in eastern Canada. Probably thunderstorms and maybe even a severe weather threat. I would say the biggest severe weather threat might be the mid-Atlantic actually here. So time will tell. This is about 10 days out, so expect major changes in what's expected for this, but definitely interesting to think about. And then the model right now, we're looking at the long range, but the overall trend is more storms developing across the plains. The details don't matter too much, but there is severe weather underneath this on this particular model run. So these would also have potential as we're approaching the 20th. And it actually looks like after that one moves through and down into the southeast, bringing thunderstorms the whole way, it looks like at the end of the model run, we are seeing another system develop. So back to back to back, pretty significant lows here over the next 2 weeks. Very, very interesting. Looking at the total precipitation, there is quite a bit across the Rockies and Plains here. And then the highlight is the eastern seaboard here, where we are well above average as far as precipitation. The west is decent, maybe a little bit above or a little bit below, depending on your location, but decent. And then this area here across the Great Lakes and Upper Midwest is pretty far below average. That is significantly low. Looking at the anomalies, sure enough, we have some pretty far above average amounts here for the northern plains, the Rockies there, and then the eastern seaboard is well above average from the Florida Panhandle up into eastern Canada. And then the west, again, is quite neutral. Very, very dry, though, across this area. Looking at the Storm Prediction Center outlooks here, this is for day 1. We have 3 light green areas that you can see, and that is going to be your general thunderstorm risk areas. That is where we don't expect severe weather, but we do expect thunderstorms. But they do have trouble forecasting this sometimes, as these events are very, very tricky. So still heed every watch, warning, and advisory. Bad severe weather sometimes happens outside of where it's expected. The darker green area there in the southeast is your level 1 marginal risk, where we expect isolated severe weather for today on Friday, May 9th. Oh my god. Look at me. This is day 3 the whole time I left it on that. Guys, I don't even pay attention to the calendar. Okay, let's go through this again. Day 1 here, it's basically the same thing. 2 general thunderstorm risks, 3 marginal risk areas. The areas change a little bit. This is for today on Wednesday the 7th. It's not Friday the 9th. I thought, man, May's flying by. No, this is day 1 here. Day 2, very large marginal risk there across the deep south and parts of the southeast, even into the mid-Atlantic. And we have 2 general thunderstorm risk areas, as you can see. But again, the isolated severe weather is expected in that darker green area. And then what we started with here is day 3, Friday the 9th, where again, there's 3 general thunderstorm risks, and the southeast is in that marginal risk. As of now, there is no extended range outlook, so this is it for this video. So be sure to subscribe. We upload every single day. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload, so you never miss one. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.